I'm Shua, and you are listening to Light Up with Shua, a weekly podcast to open our hearts and minds on a journey with me. Good morning, Jagjeevan Kaur Rittenberg.
Good morning.
I like your name. It's such an intercultural name. All right. Thank you for taking our time, and I'm really looking forward to exploring your world experience and all. So can you briefly tell me about yourself in 30 seconds or 1 minute, who you are, what do you do?
I'm Jagjeevan Kaur Rittenberg, and I live in New Jersey with 2 children and a husband. My daughter is 16. My son is going to be 14 next month. And I say they have red hair because it's kind of unusual.
I was about to ask that. Thank you for saying that. I was like, why red hair is so important?
It's a little bit unusual and these days. And I think it's always been a little bit unusual and very cute. My husband and I work together, and we have a company called Rutenberg Design Group, and we design the interiors of all kinds of commercial spaces. We specialize in supermarkets. We can do hotels and healthcare facilities, hospitals, any kind of commercial space. And so what we do is we plan it first. And then after we plan it, we design it, everything from the pretty pictures on the wall to fixtures hanging from the ceiling.
Full interior designing. That's what you do. You and your husband. Okay.
We also fabricate it. And then after we fabricate it and print it, then we install it. So it's one-stop shopping.
Wow. Amazing. Thank you. So you are a parent, and what are you proud? Yeah. So that is important for you?
I think once we started to try to make babies, we were conscious of it, but it's not something I thought about my whole life. Okay. Like one day, actually when I was very, very little girl, I have a very early memory of wanting to be a granny. So I just wanted to be a grandmother. So almost if someone would say to me, what do you want to be when you get older? I would say a granny. So
that's so cute.
I just didn't realize I would have to
go
get married,
through a process.
make babies. But I knew I always wanted to be a granny. That is one thing I knew.
Nice. Okay. So what have you learned from your parenting that you think is really good and you can share, and something that you think that you can tell the people or young parents to be that they can avoid? What's a good parenting in your definition?
I think the most important thing for me is that I have one shot of being a parent to 2 children, and that it's my shot, it's my chance. And if I listen to how other people, including people in my family, think that I should be a parent, it's good to listen, actually, and hear how people think. But if I actually just randomly just act on how people think I should be, because that was their experience, then I'm going to give away my only chance of doing what I think is the right thing. So I've always just acted on my own instincts, my own way, and do what I think is best for my kids. And, just if anyone criticizes it, then that's their opinion. And I just do what I think is best.
Did you learn through books, or did you inculcate whatever you learned from your parents, or did you avoid some things that your parents did?
At the very beginning, when they were babies, I looked a lot to Dr. Sears. He's someone who wrote some books about breastfeeding and attachment parenting, and why it's okay for a baby to be in your bed with you, and why it's a little bit of breastfeeding advice. So I looked to him for some kind of advice through his books. And that was in, their infant days. But mostly I didn't, if I looked to anyone, it was to him and his books, but mostly I just used my own instincts. And I didn't ask any doctors. I didn't feel like they understood, as well as my own instincts. And I noticed that in the hospital And I noticed the doctors, they would be very anxious to tell me, how much milk are they getting? How do you know how much they're getting? How do you know? People would say, are they growing properly? Are they big enough? And none of that I would pay any attention to. So I would just do my own. I said, I'm sure that they're going to live. Sure. And then I breastfed them when they were toddlers for a while. And people would say, well, when are you ever going to stop that? When will you ever stop breastfeeding? I said, I'm sure they're not going to go to high school this way. I'm really sure. So that's one thing I would know.
Wow.
I didn't want to give them a solid answer, but this I knew.
Okay, I like that. Wow. So it means you were so were you always like this? Were you sure about yourself? Did you know yourself?
I think so.
Right?
Yeah, I think so, because I've always been met with a lot of criticism, and I've done things just my own way, and all my life, I guess. And now that I look back at it, I guess I could see that. Maybe didn't see it at the time, but
were your parents? It means they were very like they gave you full freedom to decide, or were you?
They didn't. I mean, they just threw their hands up and said, "Oh boy, she's going to do what she wants. Oh boy, there she goes again." So it's not like they said, let me give her the ability to be her own person.
Right.
He just said, "Oi, there she goes again." And that's what they still say.
Okay. Very self-assured person, knows what to do.
So I think that's the best parenting advice, is to be self-assured.
Okay. So it means you have a good relation with your children?
Yes.
You are
very, very good. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
how would you define
kids,
or describe that? Yeah.
Well, they're typical kids. They want to go in their own room, do their own thing. Mommy, don't talk to me now. I'm busy. I have no time to talk to you. But they really.
And what does
talk
mommy do then? Like she's like, okay, or
yeah, okay. It's okay.
Are you cool with that?
It's like, I can't get a hug. I can't get a kiss. No. So it's okay. They're sometimes I'll play and act, like, hey, that's not right, but I don't mean it.
Do they share with you?
Yes, that's what I mean. Like when push comes to shove, they will share. They do share.
And you said they're 14 and 16?
14 and 16.
Yeah,
I'm not looking for them saying, good morning, hello. It's okay. A daily life goes on. Daily life is daily life. It's just what matters to me are the big deal. Mommy, something happened at school today. I'm having big trouble. I need help. I have, something to talk to you about. Those are the important things in life are what's important to me, not a daily, did you do your homework? That's not important to me. Why is your grade low in the second marking period?
You're not worried about that? Okay.
I'm not worried about that.
Excellent. Wow. So you're not like high achiever mother the way we are nowadays, like 10 activities, that.
0. I don't care if they don't do any activities. One thing I always tell my children, both of them, is for me to love them, they do one thing: breathe. That's it. And truth be known, they don't even have to breathe. I mean, if they died, God forbid, I would love them forever. They're still there.
Wow.
Their soul never dies. But I would never want to say that to my children.
No,
so I want them to live. So, you say the only thing they have to do, requirement from me, because you don't want to give any, I really don't want to give any requirement. But
that's what I was going to ask, yeah.
They have to breathe. You have to breathe. That's all you have to do is breathe.
Wow.
So, and I love you no matter what. So
no conditions.
So I think that any parent just can have a great relationship with their child, no matter if they're a helicopter mom or they're laid back mom. They can find a way to make it work. But what works for me really well is that I don't give them expectations. I never manage their homework. I never manage their studying. I manage their grades. And one is better at keeping their grades than the other, but the other one figures that out pretty well. And my son, well, he's younger, so I think he'll get better and better as he gets older. But my son once said to me, "Mommy, can I do my homework? I'm going to do my homework on the bus. I'm just going to do my homework on the bus." I said, "Okay."
And
fine.
So what do they think about you? Do they give you feedback about your being a mother, the way you are? I
think they like it. I mean, you sent me some nice cards in the past that said that, be are happy with me as a mom, but I think every mother gets those, you know. But I think that, you know, like, for example, like doing the homework on the bus, I say to myself, wow, how many times have I had a boss that needed something from me and I didn't have it done, and I was on a like shaky bus, or I was on a plane, or, you know, just trying to get it done at a red light, and I had to get it in by a certain time. So it's a good skill to be able to get your work done on a school bus. You have to, you know, let the kids figure out for themselves, like, wow, I did my homework on the bus and now it's all messed up and I didn't do well. You know, the teacher threw it in the garbage. She couldn't even read it. Or maybe he'll say, wow, that worked for me really well. I did it on the bus and nothing bad happened. I got it done on time. You know, I'm good with myself. Let him figure out how that works, doing work on the bus. It's not for me to tell him. You know, whether it ever worked for me to do it on the bus or not, it doesn't matter. It's whether it's going to work for him to do it on the bus. He has to make his own figurings of what's going to work or not me, for him. It's his brain, it's his life, it's his homework, it's his everything. So
excellent. Good. It means then you would know something about that. Is intelligence enough to think?
Well, I'm not that intelligent, so I think, and I've gotten really far.
How can you say that?
Well, because I've never been great at studying, and in my high school I didn't get the best grades. I did pretty well in college.
So do you evaluate yourself and others through grades, I guess?
No, I'm saying no. I'm like, they weren't that important to me, in other words, grades. So I wasn't really the best student. But I think
grades?
I did in grades.
Okay.
And, you know, I wasn't the best.
So what were you good in that you think you were?
I think I had a very good heart. I think I had a lot of good compassion for other people. I had a lot of empathy. I had when I went to college, I went to college in Manhattan in New York City. I went to John Jay College of Criminal Justice. And it was on 59th and 10th in Columbus Circle, and in New York City. And I commuted from New Jersey for a while, and from New York, from Long Island for a while. And I would stop at the Port Authority or New York Penn Station, and there would be a lot of homeless people back then because I'm very old. And I would sit down with them on the floor. I would like sit with them for hours. Sometimes I would just like take time off and just sit like 3-4 hours on the floor. My mother would say, "Where did my clothes go? Where's my sweater? And I would take it, because I took it to people. I would just take, you know, leftover food. I would take in Thanksgiving food after Thanksgiving. I would take, and I would bring in my mother's real plates and real forks and glasses and everything. We'd have a real party on the floor of Penn Station, and all kinds of makeup. And my mother would always be looking for her things.
Did she figure out what you were doing?
She knew what I was doing eventually. She's like, "Why do you give away my things?" So, so I think that gave me a lot of education. That made me to be a good thinker. You know, I really got to know the people around me at work. I got to know people's hearts. And I think it's important that to not only just sit and learn your books, but to learn, you know, my son said to me at the beginning of this school year, "I really don't like this school, Mommy. I think I'm just going to drop out of school. Because I don't need school. I'm very smart, Mommy. I can just like open a business. I can really, you know, make a lot of money doing something. I don't need school because I can Google any subject and learn anything." I said, "Yeah, but you might not think to Google that subject, a certain subject. You wouldn't know to Google it." It's like, "Yeah, well, put it this way. How about like history? Why do I need to know all these things? Like dates and dates and dates and dates, and give me all these tests about all these different dates. Why do I need to know the years all these things happen?" I said, "You really don't need to know the years." I said, "But you know, you see them taking down all of these different statues of all these different people right now on the news. You see all these things happening. Crazy things are happening right now. And if you pay attention in American history in your class right now, you're going to really learn the background as to why all these things are happening that you see right now. So you're going to understand better all these terrible things that are happening, why they're happening. You know, if you just pay a little bit of attention with your heart to the American history, not listen to the dates. Don't listen to the dates. Don't worry about your grades. Just worry about what happened back then. Try to hear it.
So it is important for you to like learn the history. It's good to know the history.
Yeah, it's very important to, especially American history, because a lot of crazy things happen in American history, as we could see. I mean, take Thanksgiving for an example.
I'm interviewing a Native American now today.
Yeah, I mean, that's all like a big hoax, right? So, you know, it's very important to pay attention. You want to understand, you know, what happened here. So I just explained it to him, and then, you know, said, just do your best. And it's been okay ever since.
Wow.
He has a point, you know. What do I need to know? What year this happened? What, you know?
Right. So, seems like you're a very conscious parent. Or maybe you don't perceive yourself as conscious parent, or do you?
No, I'm very conscious. I mean, I see everything they're doing. I watch them, like, you know, I try to seem unconscious. I try to seem like I'm not there. I want them to feel that they are, and I don't know, I want them to actually live their lives with their own brains. Their new, you know, it's their brain. It's their, you know, like, they are new young children that have new young brains that were just built just for them and stuck into their heads. And they're fresh, they're new, it's like getting a brand new engine in a car. Like, I have an old 51-year-old brain, like, that's been through pain and suffering and hurt and like, you know, someone honking the horn and screaming at me, and you know, someone in the grocery store saying hurry up when I wrote a check. You know, I've been through teachers, you know, telling me I can't go to the bathroom right now. You know, I've been through different things. So my brain's all, you know, old and tainted by all of my experiences. Their brains are new and free and imaginative and can just start from scratch. So why would I want to give them any opinions based on my experiences when they can just think up the new, creative, beautiful thoughts themselves? Like, why would I do that to them? Good. So, and if their experience that they come up with doesn't come out okay, then they'll say, okay, I'll try it different next time. Like, why would I want to impede? Like, I don't know if that's the right word. Why would I want to, like, change the course of what they would do naturally? Like, I heard that, like, when kids are born, they're born with a natural mechanism that tells them when to stop eating. So they immediately, like, that's why I wasn't concerned with breastfeeding. They'll take as much milk as they need from my breast. Then they're going to stop. So I never cared how much came out. Whatever comes out, comes out. Whatever you drink, you drink. When you decide you want more, you'll have more. But it's not only with breast milk, it's with just any kind of food. They just eat, and then they're not interested, they just stop eating. So I think that might even go on forever if humans just let humans be humans and just stop eating when they want to stop eating. But then as kids get older, the parents start saying, eat, finish it, eat more. So they start putting ideas in their brains about eating. And the same thing happens with everything. Cross the street, don't cross the street. You know, slice the tomato thicker, slice it thinner. You're supposed to use the knife this way, use the knife that way. Let them just try the knife. Like, figure it out. You know, so that's why I think that it's best to just let them be and figure it out. And, you know, if they ask me a question, give them some guidance, what I like. I don't know.
Good. Thank you. I would like to ask a last leg of questions to you, which is, what is the value of gratitude in your life? What are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for the moment that I have now. You know, I'm thankful to be, you know, even if it's, sometimes I feel like I'm having like the worst thing happen. And, you know, I just say that's what it is, you know, that everything that I've ever had led me to this. So I can't be thinking, you know, I can't be anything but grateful for it. You know, it's just here, and this is what it is, and I have to just, you know, even if it's not right, it's going to probably lead to something great. So everything that I've ever gone through has led to something great. I feel great. I feel like this is the best moment of my life right now. And ultimately, I always feel that way, even after something really, really horrible happens. You know, during the horrible moment, it feels terrible, but ultimately I always wind up feeling like, oh, this is still the greatest time of my life. So, you know, you just have to go through those moments and be grateful for them, because if you don't have those times, you're supposed to go through what you're going through. In other words, you're supposed to be, I think God gives you each moment for a reason, each experience for a reason. You're supposed to learn what you're supposed to learn. That's why you have it there now. So I'm grateful for the problem. I'm grateful for the happy thing. I'm grateful for whatever comes into my life at the time.
Thank you.
So
what is the value of time for you?
It seems like I don't value time. Like, you know, I have no value of, you don't value time. You know, I get a lot of criticism in my life.
Mm-hmm. But what do you think?
You have no value of time. Mm-hmm. You don't appreciate time. Mm-hmm. You don't care about time. Mm-hmm. The most important thing is I try to care about other people's time. So, you know, because I know everyone has a schedule. So I have to remember that always. But when it comes to myself, I try not to have any time, space issues at all. Like I don't have any concept of time or space. And I want to keep it like that. You know, just because I'm 51 years old doesn't mean I have to act like a 51-year-old. I can act like a newborn. So I always try to keep myself in that state of try to keep my brain like it's a new engine, like it's new. Like I don't try to make it old and tainted. I know it is because it's 51 and it went through people honking their horns at me and everything, but to keep it mild. But I try to keep it as babyish as possible. So, you know, I could be driving to work and I see this beautiful scene. I stop my car. Next thing I know, it's an hour later. I took 400 pictures. You know, I see a cow. Oh, a squirrel. You know, I'm CEO of a multi-million-dollar company, and I'll stop my car for a squirrel, and I'll watch the squirrel for an hour, and then I get to work, and they're like, "Where were you?" I'm like, "There was a squirrel." So
you do tell them?
It was brown.
And you do tell them? And they
very furry.
So what do they say?
Sometimes. By now they're like, she probably saw a squirrel. So they know me too well.
Wow.
Well, sometimes other people, you have to always be mindful. If you have a meeting, someone's coming to see you, you have to really value other people's time. Exactly. But if you have your own time, then it's important to just take the time. Yeah.
Excellent.
So that's where it's important to listen to other people. When you just don't know something, just say, I don't know.
So do you consider yourself a good listener?
Yeah. Some people say I'm not. Again, I'm always criticized, but because I talk a lot. So if I'm comfortable with someone, I talk a lot. So people who talk a lot are usually thought of to be not great listeners, but I don't agree with that. You know, first of all, if I'm not comfortable with someone, I won't talk a lot. If I'm comfortable, I'll talk a lot. But I consider myself a very good listener, especially when it's a subject where I don't know anything. I will always want to listen and take advice because, you know, I just don't know. So listen. But if I feel like I know, then I'm probably going to follow my own instincts. Because the things I'm really passionate about, I tend to think about a lot. I tend to give them a lot of thought and a lot of time and consideration till I really, really feel I made my mind up. So it would be hard to convince me otherwise.
Good. Thank you. So we're coming just to the last questions, I know. Is this life an illusion for you?
I don't think so. I think that, you know, I think every life we have is very real. And, you know, God gives us these lives for a reason, to be here, to be present, to be aware, to appreciate, to be grateful for, to do something, to make a difference, to make an impact, not to be an illusion, to make it real, to make an impact, to touch somebody else. And yes, our souls are the main focus. Our souls are the things that carry on and live forever and ever. But the soul, keeps moving from life to life. But during each of those lives, if it's a human life, then we're here to make a human connection. So we should take the time to make the human connection we're here to make. And if we're a blade of grass, then we should feel the other blades of grass. Whatever we're here to do, whatever our purpose is here, then we shouldn't let it pass as an illusion. We should live that life, whatever it is, and really take the time to feel that experience of that life that we're having, not let it pass as an illusion. So too many people say, oh, what are we really here for? It's just a soul. It's just one of our 8.4 million lives, and then we're going to go on to another life. No, feel your life. This is it. This might be the best one you're going to have of all of them. So just take the time to experience it and maybe really make a big impact on what you're going to leave behind.
So I guess that is a good segue into what is the purpose of your life?
I feel that it's always evolving, and, I have no idea what I would be doing on this year. 10 years ago, I had no idea. And I'm sure I have no idea what is going to come to me 10 years from now.
But so far, what do you find what is the purpose that you do?
Right now, I really feel that my purpose in life is to help Sikh people, the Sikh community, to adjust to being in America. I feel that they should have freedom of religion, and they should have freedom to they should be able to feel comfortable living here. They should feel able to wear turbans, and feel that they're free, not, scared to grow their hair and wear a turban, that someone's going to think that they're a terrorist or that they're different than other people. I feel that I want, if Sikh people come over here from India, that the mommy shouldn't say, oh no, cut your hair, take your turban off. You want to assimilate into America so that no one makes fun of you. Change your name to John or Michael. Don't use your full name. Don't call yourself Bhavdeep. Call yourself Bob. I want the Indian Mamiji to be able to feel that they should come here and say, you are Bhavdeep Singh. You call yourself Bhavdeep. Don't shorten your name for anybody. Keep your turban on. And keep your hair growing, because you have a right to be here just like everybody else. So I feel it's my purpose in life right now to help, to show, since I'm white, I'm able to be a voice for white people and show white people that who Sikhs are, why they wear a turban, why they grow their hair, what kind of people they are, what the community is all about, and that they should not be discriminated against, and there should be no violence, and that they belong here in America. Just like they belong here in America. So that's what I feel my purpose right now in life is.
Thank you. Second last question. Any message of hope?
I mean, that's the whole basis of the Sikh religion is Chardi Kala, and that's to always have hope. It's everlasting optimism is what Chardi Kala means. So it's the whole basis of our religion is Chardi Kala. So, I mean, everybody has sad days. Even, I have depressing days. I have sad days where I feel like, oh, wow, this is the worst day. And then you just have to, the key is to not say, I'm never going to be sad again. I'm never going to be depressed again. I'm never going to have a day where I feel like this is the worst day ever. The goal is to be able to come out of it quicker and quicker and quicker, where it lasts, you have that feeling for 5 minutes as opposed to 5 days, for 5 hours as opposed to for 5 days. And then the next thing you know, it's 5 seconds. And you're just like, oh, that wasn't so bad. I'm fine. Chardi Kala, everything's going to be okay. And everyone's going to feel a tinge of sadness or despair because things happen in life. Things are always going to happen in life. That's what life is all about. Good things and bad things. And it's human to feel very sad and sometimes despair, and we would be machines if we didn't get depressed or sad. And sometimes, people get killed, people die, people, get lost, horrible things happen. And if you didn't get depressed and sad over those things, we wouldn't be human. So the hope is to just how quickly we can recover from these things and how quickly we can say, thank God for what I do have. Thank God I lost one arm. Thank God I have still another arm. But how long am I going to be sad that I lost one arm? Of course I'm going to be depressed and sad that I lost an arm, but how long until I realize how thankful I am that I still have my other arm?
So the duration makes a difference.
Yeah, and people should try to get as much of a great support team around them. And keep people who are not a great support out of their lives. Keep people around them who are going to uplift them, and also always have a feeling of Chardi Kala around them, so that it's okay to be depressed. You gotta feel your feelings. Everything is a process. It's a process, and it's a road you have to go down, and you have to feel your feelings. You can't just eat 7 cookies and put your head under a pillow and say, I feel nothing. I'm perfectly happy. I'm grateful for my other arm, because that's not real life. Real life is to feel sad. Real life is to cry about it and to feel pain and to feel terrible, terrible, terrible pain and sadness. Share it with a few friends, but then you have to keep going. Every now and then you'll feel the little sadness again, and then you pick yourself up and you keep going. Maybe you want to write about it, or share how sad you feel, and then you keep going.
Very nice.
But people should realize that it's okay to feel sad.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And so when you ask me, the message of hope is to don't give a message of hope to the world. Give a message of hope to yourself. And if everybody gives a message of hope to themselves and tells themselves, be as kind to yourself as you would be to everybody, then I think everybody would be a little bit happier.
Nice. What lights you up?
My children, watching them explore themselves, watching them, with me, and not giving them, just very gentle guidance, watching them blossom into what they become. The other day, my son came, the one who was going to drop out of school, but he's not dropped out.
You're waiting.
I'm still waiting for the day, but he now says he wants to start his own vending machine business. So he's 13 years old, So I said, okay, how much money do you think you'll need for that startup? And so he said, I think I need about $400. I said, okay, maybe we should start that. You have money in the bank. I could take it out for you, and you could start that. And so just watching them come up with ideas and think, my daughter's very interested.
So did he start, or is he going
to? This is just the other day, but yeah, I'm going to help him. And my daughter's really into filmmaking, and she went to the New York Times New York Times summer school this summer.
Okay.
In Manhattan. She stayed for 2 weeks, and she's pursuing that. She's really interested in literature, journalism. I didn't tell her, I think that you would be really great at that. I think you should, pick filmmaking. I would think that she would have picked news or writing, but she picked filmmaking. I would have never guessed that that's what she would have picked. But so that's why I'm glad I didn't say anything.
So this lights you up. Them coming up and watching them.
I love to watch, and not have been part of it. I can't claim any responsibility for anything that they're going to become. I didn't do any of it. They did everything themselves. I didn't suggest anything. If I was going to suggest for my daughter to do something, I would have told her to become a cook, a chef. So, because she's always interested in cooking. She's a great chef. So, in fact, I kind of gave a little hint that maybe if she's so interested in writing, because she takes a lot of journalism, that maybe she wants to write about food. She's like, I don't want to write about food. It's like, okay, sorry I said anything. But, sometimes a little suggestion will come out. But, whatever the pick, I take no responsibility.
Thank you very much. I would say thank you so much for your time and speaking to me about your thoughts and experience.
Thank you for having me.
Very nice to talk to you.
You too.
Thank you for staying with me through this exciting episode. Please don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for the next episode of Light Up with Shua.